Hey, I wanted to say something else. So I was walking by, I walked through the Art Institute. It was closed, the Minneapolis Art Institute, Institute of Art. And I thought, it's funny. I have known people in my life that are, and I'm going to use this quote, and there's no judgment behind it, who consider themselves art snobs. Like they know so much about art, and they can tell you this and this and this and this, and all this stuff about the art. You know who's got sometimes the best opinion about art? You take a group of children that are in that know nothing about art except for their own perceptions to the Institute of Art, and you ask them, what do you think of this picture? And they go, oh, I don't like it, it's ugly. And then you say, well, why is it ugly? And they're like, I don't like the colors, I don't, it's scary. And I've actually heard that where kids go, oh, I don't like it. So who's got more of a fresh idea about a painting or a sculpture? Remember in the past, I said I liked really grainy pictures in black and white fiber print. And I like my art, the stuff that I do. And I like other people's art. And sometimes I see it through the eyes of a child. Or I like a certain part of the art, like, and maybe not the art as a whole, but maybe there's a shadow, or maybe there's a something that looks odd. When I was at MCAD, I actually did this, and I looked at art sideways, and I thought, well, isn't that weird? How I never saw that when I was looking straight on to it. I don't know. But that's a good thing, and that's why kids go on field trips. Or is it? Remember, we said that sometimes children or students are the best teachers. It's interesting, too. And you can apply that to other things, too. That's why it's nice to get a perspective of a different, if you're a this or that or this. And notice how I didn't use words this time. I just this and that and this. Like I didn't say if you were a bus driver or if you worked at McDonald's or if you were an executive or a this, a that, a this. It's just those are just titles. But it's really interesting. People pay $145,000 to go to art school, and then they're experts at art. Except when kids look at it, they go, oh, that's ugly, or I love that. And isn't it funny sometimes how they pick out the strangest things where other people are like, that's not art. And then you're like, is it art? I don't know why I'm on the art kick today. Well, it's because was going to go to the Art Institute, or the Minneapolis Institute of Art. So if you're going to go on a walk, do you think about your walk? Or do you think about other things on the walk? Or do you pay attention to your walking? A lot of people don't pay attention to their feet because they take for granted they just move them. Think about how your feet work and that complex set of artwork that it takes to move your feet or your hands or your spirit. I look at the city sometimes and I think that's a work of art. And in different light, it's different. And I think, how many times do you drive by the city, by the Or I look at it and go, oh, that's just the city. Or that's just a tree. But when I was sitting here, I was like, oh, there's a bird on the branch. There's some pine cones down there. I wonder if I'm going to take one home with me. And she was like, you know, different. Or technology, the same thing. Is technology art? Are computer programs art? Or are they programs? Do programmers think of their work as art? Or do they think of it as mathematics and programming language and language? And what is language? A degree in language? Art. Interesting. I don't know. I know I'm throwing out all these like weird things, like the story about the crane and the elephant and the turtle. And then I didn't tell you which other animal was in there. You know? Or animals. It's interesting because which animal would you pick? Or which animals would they pick? And why? Or would they add a different animal? Like maybe you would pick a mongoose or a deer or an alligator. And then that throws a whole different mix in there. Or a giraffe. Or maybe some people would pick the tree. I don't know. Think about it though.